Sorry for the technical difficulties in the top of the first inning. Youngstown State scored 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left on base. Morgan Beckham did pitch very well in that first inning, did not get credit for either run as earned. Had a strikeout and a full inning pitched aside from that. 2-0 lead for Youngstown State over Bowling Green, and they get their first at-bats of the game. It's going to be Katie Hutter, Addie Martin, Taylor Barrett. The lineup remains the same for Bowling Green. No changes except for Morgan Beckham in the circle. And the pitcher in the circle for Youngstown State is Macy Bogus. Bogus, sophomore, standing at 5'8". Winfield, West Virginia native. 6.7 ERA this season. First pitch outside for ball 1. Katie Hutter fouls this one off on an inside pitch. 2 for 3 in the first game. 3 runs on 1 walk. 3 times reaching base for her. 2 runs scored in the first 2 innings. Scored 3 runs back-to-back innings. She's the only player to score 3 runs. The first game. There's pitch. Oh, just high. Bogus just missed her spot. Or did she? And just a bad call by the umpire. 2-1. Would have probably called that one a strike myself. Around the waist. Looked very good. Always wearing number 3. Now deals to Hutter. Good off speed on the outside. Caught the edge of the plate for 2-2. Hutter very good at bats in the first game. Worked a lot of strong counts and had one where I believe she got into double-digit pitches. Was scored a couple of times by Addie Martin and Taylor Barrett. Taylor Barrett and Hannah Hunt. Hunt scored her on a sacrifice fly for the first run of the game, and Taylor Barrett singled to score her later on in the game. Full count now on the outside fastball. Now Bogus looking to keep a runner off first base. The payoff pitch singled into right field. Bishop will field and throw it in to the cutoff, and Katie Hutter keeps a hot streak going today. Wanted to see her get back to some offense. She's done a very good job so far. Addie Martin steps up to the plate now. 1 for 3 and a run with a walk and a strikeout in the first game. 5 assists at shortstop as well. Playing out of position with Cam Kaufman still out for injury. Hopefully she's back for the Ball State series this weekend. Fly ball, deep left field. Looks like it's going to be foul, but not playable either for the left fielder, Littler. So it's going to fall outside the fence. Addie Martin will get another life. Looks like all the Falcons are trying to lift the ball quite a lot. A lot of fly balls today for Bowling Green, who through all of last week had a lot of line drives and a lot of keeping the ball below 10 feet. Maybe the wind is playing a little bit with these. Shows bunt, pulls it back. A hard fastball by Bogus. And Martin would have had a tough time getting that down. Either way, 1-1. They count. 2-run lead for Youngstown State, but no outs in the bottom of the first inning. Still time for Bowling Green in this inning. Leadoff single by Katie Hutter over the first baseman's head. Now the 1-1 pitch from Bogus. Low and away. Not a great frame job by Kennedy Dean. Well, that pitch looked closer than the umpire probably thought because she caught it going low and away from the right-handed hitting Addie Martin. Martin with the 2-1 count. Back up to even. Lines it out into left field. This one's going to fall down fair. Played by Littler. Her throw in holds the runner at second base. Be back-to-back singles for Bowling Green as they have a 2-runner lead over the pitcher Bogus. Bringing up Taylor Barrett, who was the best hitter in that first game. 3 for 4, 2 RBIs, 1 run scored. A couple of plays in the field at third base as well. Another one that's playing out of position, and then another one of those top 4 hitters for Bowling Green, all in the infield. Played some pretty good softball last couple of games. First and second. Bunt is laid down right in front of the plate. Playable for Dean, who overthrows the first baseman. Barrett will round first. 1 run will score. Addie Martin's held up at third base, and it's going to be a catcher error that scores a run, and Katie Hutter. Taylor Barrett gets a bunt down. Would have advanced the runners to second and third, even if the play was made, but it was not. Martin advances to third. Taylor Barron over to second on the error by Kennedy Dean. That'll bring up Hannah Hunt, the runner on second and third, and no outs. So the outfield is what she's looking for here, low and away from Bogus. Fly ball, score 1 run. Single, probably score 2. Extra base hit, almost guaranteed to score multiple runs. 1-0 count. Bunt laid down by Hannah Hunt. And they caught, look at that. Nobody was covering third base. Addie Martin would have got caught in her second rundown of the year. Gardner not too happy with it, but he'll give her a high five. Nobody was covering third, and the bunt in front drops down. Be a single for Hannah Hunt, I believe. Bases loaded for Bowling Green. What a weird play. Dean didn't know what to do with it. She couldn't run Addie Martin back to third, which she did. Couldn't make a throw to second because there was already a runner there, and couldn't make the throw to first. Addie Martin was halfway to home. 2-1, Youngstown State leads. Still no outs. Ground ball to the second baseman. It's going to be a 4-3 putout. And another run's going to score for Bowling Green. Addie Martin will come home on it's essentially a sacrifice for Peyton Steffes. First out recorded by Bogus so far. Runners advance to second and third. Good job, a good piece of hitting to hit behind the runners as well and make sure that they're going to get over even if she was out. So Ava McKee will step up, runner on second and third at a 2-run double in the first game.
Catcher number 88, Ava McKee.
McKee was 1 for 3 and 2 RBIs. Played pretty well behind the plate as well. Takes a first pitch ball inside. 2-2 now. It's tied up. PG with a chance to take the lead. Probably should find the outfielders. You could get a good run in. It's Taylor Barrett at third base who's got some speed. McKee shows bunt, pulls it back, and the pitch is outside anyway. 2-0. And back to a favorable count for her. Two-run double in the first, got stranded at third, and then got out twice the rest of the game. In the first game against Youngstown, 3-0 after the pitches left low. So probably a take count if you're McKee. Leaving the bat on her shoulder. Bogus winds up and deals right over the plate for strike 1. So now you're still in a hitting count, 3-1. Runners on second and third. Barrett at third and Hunt at second. The 3-1 from Bogus. Slapped over into right field. Diving play by the right fielder Bishop, but it'll fall in. Ashlyn Bishop will have to throw it in after 2 runs score. It's going to be another 2 RBI hit for Ava McKee in the first inning. She's got a single. Scores Barrett and Hunt. After that game-tying double against Kent State in the second game that prompted Delaney Davis to get a walk-off hit, Ava McKee has been on a tear. She gets 2 runs there, gives Bowling Green a 4-2 lead. That's back-to-back 4-run first innings for the Falcons today. Delaney Davis up at the plate now with 1 out and a runner at first base.
Now batting here is
Peyton Steffes and Ava McKee both have RBIs. Nice to see when your 5 and 6 hitters have the RBIs. 4 runs scored by all 4 of the top Falcons. Bunt laid down by Delaney Davis. She's going to beat this out. Beautiful bunt by Davis to get it over. It's going to be a single for her. McKee advances to second. Brings up Hannah Massaro, the first baseman, to try and knock in a couple more runners. 1 out for Massaro. Massaro 0 for 3 in the first game. One of only 2 players. But Delaney Davis was the other one, and she was 0 for 1. Massaro 0 for 3. Shows the high bunt like she always does. Now pulls it back. Now actually looks to get the bunt down, but can't. She has struggled with the sacrifices this season, trying to get runners over. We'll see what the third and the first baseman do. The first baseman, Ray, is playing a few steps in from first base. The third baseman, Diaz, is only playing a step or so in from first base. She shows, now pulls back and takes a strike on the outside. So failed first bunt, now takes a strike on the second pitch, and she's down in an 0-2 hole. Trying to work her way out of it and give more run support to Morgan Beckham. Gave up 2 runs in the top of the first. Both of them unearned, and now swing and a miss. Strikeout swinging for Hannah Massaro, who her at-the-plate struggles continue. It'll bring up Kendall Matthews with 2 outs and 2 runners on.
Next up for the Falcons,
Matthews,
number 19,
2 for 3
Kendall
with a run. Nice to see her get her feet under her with the bat in her hand. Was struggling a little bit coming into that first game. Hitless in her last 5 games played. Finally got a hit and broke that streak. Now trying to start a hitting streak. She's down, up in the count, 1-0. Bogus will wind and deliver with 2 outs and a good off speed to drop it right in past Matthews. Change the speed on her, change the eye level as well. A little drop ball put right over the middle. Katie Hutter waiting on deck, searching to hit for the second time in the inning. Bogus for the 1-1, a low and away. Bogus, 2023 West Virginia Gatorade Player of the Year, 2023 West Virginia State Champion, and 3-time All-State in the land of country roads. 2-1, pitch low and inside, ball 3-1. Bogus, her last 20 innings pitched since her last win. She's 0 for 4, 15 earned runs on 36 hits, 12 strikeouts, 5 walks. Not had too much success in the win column and adds a lot of earned runs as well. This one fouled off by Kendall Matthews on a 3-1 count. So it'll be 3-2 with 2 outs. Runner on first, that's Delaney Davis. Runner on second, that's Ava McKee. Both of them with hits. McKee's the only one with RBIs. Peyton Steffes also had an RBI on her ground out to the second baseman. The payoff pitch up and away. Kendall Matthews is going to take her bag, and it's going to bring up the top of the order, and Katie Hutter. So Bowling Green's batted around. Hutter singled and scored a run earlier this inning. Addie Martin on deck as Bogus has struggled. Very tough first innings for both pitchers. Kelsey Ogan last game, and now Macy Bogus in this one. Winds up and deals for the first pitch to Katie Hutter and leaves an off-speed high. McKee on third, beneficial to the Falcons, not the fastest runner and the catcher. Delaney Davis on second, quite a fast runner, will score on a hit. And Kendall Matthews at first, who's not slow in her own right. Hutter on a hot streak as well. 1-0, pitches away. Now Bogus is getting a little bit touchy with the zone and what she's going to do to hit it. Morgan Beckham has probably got to go throw here soon. Mackenzie Kraftsick did that in the first inning of last game. 2-0. Fly ball, foul down the left field line. It was playable for Littler, but would have been a tough play to get there. She would have had a couple-step jump on it. 2-1. The count with 2 outs. Back up to even. See what Bogus does here. And first strike that she throws, Hutter was attacking. The other 2 pitches pretty much unswingable. No way you could fool her. 2-1, 2 outs, 4-2 Bowling Green lead after 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning, and they can keep it going. Hutter takes a pitch and an off-speed high. 3-1, back to a hitter's count for Katie Hutter. She's probably got the green light in this situation as well. So 3-1 count, 2 outs, bases loaded for the one-hitter. Katie Hutter takes a pitch low and away, and Bogus lost her. All the runners advance. McKee scores. It's going to be an RBI walk for Hutter, bringing up Addie Martin. Martin singled and scored in the first inning
Next up for the
Scored on the
Falcons, it's shortstop number 0.
the 2 RBI single by Ava McKee. Still 2 outs. Still bases loaded. Addie Martin swings and drives. Deep left field is back, and the wind killed it. Caught easily by Macy Littler. She gave it a ride, but there was nothing going with the way the wind is blowing here in Bowling Green. 5-2, Bowling Green leads after one complete inning of play. 7 runs scored, but 5 for the Falcons. We'll head to the top of the second in a minute. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Mark Zaborny here, host of WBGU FM's Jazz Unlimited. Listen to Jazz weekdays from 9 a.m. until noon with special live in-studio editions every Wednesday. I'll spin classic jazz standards and the latest jazz releases. That's Jazz Unlimited, weekdays from 9 until noon on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconmedia.com.
You are listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
BG Falcon Media is an organization encompassing student media organizations at Bowling Green State University. BG24 is the video component of Falcon Media that creates a weekly live newscast every Tuesday. All videos and live streams can be found on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel and website, or BG24's Twitter account. BG Falcon Media, empowering students with creative freedom by exploring technologies and focusing on audience engagement and service to our communities.
First pitch from Beckham, way inside. 5 runs on 6 hits, 1 walk, 1 error, and 3 left on base in the bottom of the first inning for Bowling Green. Second pitch is just left low, 2-0 in a tight zone for this umpire today at Meserve Field. Only 3 of those 5 runs scored by the Falcons were earned. There was an error by the catcher after 2 runs had already scored. That continued the inning. Now Beckham works with Cami Diaz. Diaz fouls this off into the screen for the first strike. 2-1, back up to an even count. Diaz playing third base. Good last couple of games for her. 1 for 3, batting 8th. Now batting 7th for Youngstown State. We're going to get the bottom 3 hitters of Cami Diaz, Ashlyn Bishop, and Bella Meyer. Pitch low, 3-1 for Morgan Beckham. Beckham with a 3-1 count. Top of the second inning. Fly ball out to right field. Steffes tracks in, makes the catch, ranging in toward the dirt. Another good fly ball out. Already 3 out of 4 outs scored by Morgan Beckham on flyouts. Gets a lot of flyouts, did against Green Bay, did against Kent State as well. 2 relief appearances there. Ashlyn Bishop now at the plate was pinch hit for all 3 of the last 3 games for Bella Meyer. Can't in this game because Bella Meyer is playing in the field, but has truly struggled at the plate. In the last game, she went 0 for 2. In the 2 games before that against Niagara, when the rest of the team had been raking, she was 0 for 3. She got a couple of walks, but she's another one that struggled at the plate. Left-handed hitter with an 0-1. Pitch way outside for ball 1 from Morgan Beckham. Beckham doing a good job of getting ahead in counts, falling a little bit off of that wagon here in the second inning. Had the only 1-2-3 inning of the game last game. The only 1-2-3 inning was hers. None for the opposing pitcher, Youngstown State, and none in the 4 innings of work for Kraftsick. Next pitch is away, off speed. 2-1 the count with 1 out. Bishop, a 5'3" junior outfielder, singles it through the hole and thus breaks her streak. Singles it through the first and second base hole. She's going to get first base, bring up Bella Meyer with a runner on. A little bit of a weak hit, but she found a gap between Hannah Massaro and Hannah Hunt. Hannah side of the right infield for Bowling Green. Bella Meyer steps up. 0 for 1 in her pinch hit appearance. Last 3 games, she's made appearances, but all in pinch hit roles. Ground ball to the second baseman. Hunt flips over to Addie Martin. Addie Martin looks to twist it, but safe at first is Bella Meyer. They'll get the runner on the fielder's choice, but Bella Meyer will sit at first and bring up the top of the order, Macy Littler. Hunt still made a good play. Addie Martin with a cannon of an arm makes that closer than it probably deserves to be.
Now batting here is the left fielder.
But it's going to be Macy Littler, the left fielder. Reached on an error by Addie Martin in the first inning and scored a run. Her and Bree Kohler, the first 2 batters of the game, both scored runs. Pitch low and away by Beckham. Not missing by a lot either. She's been quite impressive in her last outings, especially today in the perfect 3 innings that she threw. This one slapped foul down the third base line. 1-1. The count to Littler. Beckham in her last 4 games has had an impressive over 10 innings pitched and only 4 earned runs so far. Actually, call that 6. In her last 6 outings, she's had only 5 earned runs. That's incorporated over half of her total innings pitched on the season. Impressive stuff. 1-2 pitch, slapped out off the post. That holds up the netting. You heard it. So a good at bat again by Littler with a runner on first, but 2 outs. It's Bella Meyer after the fielder's choice that got Bishop caught at second. Beckham takes her sign, checks her sleeve. 1-2 count. She deals up and away. Fighting a little bit with the zone. Macy Littler also a slap hitter, so takes a couple of steps up. Outfield playing pretty decently in. Kenna Matthews the deepest, playing in middle, center field. Steffes and Delaney Davis also playing in and taking a couple steps as well, way up and in. Beckham lost the strike zone a little bit after a 1-2 count, and now back up to a full with 2 outs. Top of the second inning, and a runner on first. Key gives a sign, Beckham. And the payoff pitch outside. She'll leave it to Littler, who will take first base. Meyer will take second. Brings up Bree Kohler, who had a single and a run scored in the first inning. Try to stifle this one while you have the chance. Beckham still has not recorded an earned run on her 3 hits, 2 runs given up, strikeout and walk. Got 2 innings, so she can get out of this one pretty easily with 1 more out. First pitch, fastball, up and in. Doesn't like that call. Thought she should have got it. The umpire's zone has been tight, but not overly tight, I'd say. 1-0 with 2 outs. Pitch from Beckham is fouled back over the press box. 1-1. Bree Kohler, all freshman team in 2022. Didn't play last season due to injury. And her first season, that all freshman season, was certainly her best. Takes another pitch for 2-1. She had 1 appearance pitching versus Brown. 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 batters faced, no outs, and also took the loss. That was her only pitching start this season. Certainly much better of a hitter. Bunts it to first base, or to the pitcher. Beckham throws it over to first and barely got the runner. Not happy about the call is Bree Kohler, but they're going to get her on a bunt to the first baseman, or to the pitcher with 2 outs. No run scored, and the top of the second inning will head to the bottom with a 5-2 Bowling Green lead. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon Communications is the student-run public relations firm of BGSU Public Relations Student Society of America and BG Falcon Media. Those who join the firm create social media and feature story content for the BG News, BG24, WBGU FM, and the Bowling Green Radio Sports Organization. For each Falcon Media brand, Falcon Communication members help coordinate special events and create strategies for how to best market those events to the university community.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BG batted around in the bottom of the first inning. We'll bring up Taylor Barrett in the bottom of the second inning with a 5-2 Bowling Green lead. Won the first game 7-4. The win went to Mackenzie Krafczyk. The save went to Morgan Beckham. Morgan Beckham has pitched well so far. No earned runs. Worked her way out of a jam in the top of the second inning. Now first pitch, strike two. Taylor Barrett. Barrett reached on an error by the catcher after she laid a bunt down in the first inning. Also scored a run. Drop ball in. Dropped in waist high. Barrett didn't like the call, but she'll have to take it. 0-2 the count. She a little bit of sass to the umpire. 5 hits already for Bowling Green. An error by both sides, but only 3 hits for Youngstown State. The 0-2 pitch from Bogus is outside. That was close, but Macy Bogus just left it away. Barrett with good plate discipline. 3 for 4 in the first game. 2 RBIs and a run. One of the more consistent hitters, chasing the most hits on the team. The 1-2 pitch, just low. 363 average coming into today for Taylor Barrett. That leads the team. She is now tied for the most hits on the team with Hannah Hunt and Addie Martin. 2-2 the count. No outs. Bogus delivers, and it's just fouled over. End of the on-deck circle. It's a high fastball. She just got a piece of it off the inside of the bat. Good thing it was foul. Wasn't going very far if it was a fair ball. 2-2 still. Bogus trying to retire the first hitter. She was not able to do in the first inning. Oh, just outside. Close pitch. Bogus thought she wanted it. And I thought because Barrett argued a little bit earlier in that bat that he might have rang her. Maybe gave a pitch back to her. Full count with no outs. Taylor Barrett, Hannah Hunt, then Peyton Steffes. The 3 due up for Bowling Green. Ground ball over to first base. Can she beat her there? Taylor Barrett is going to beat out the first baseman, fielding her position. Ayla Ray cannot make the play. It probably going to be a single, I guess. She bobbled the ball. Don't know what they're going to give. We're going to get a hit for Taylor Barrett right now. Hannah Hunt will step up. Weird play. Ray kind of ranged over to her left. Backhand stopped the ball, bobbled it a little bit, and Barrett just beat it out. Now ground ball to second base. 4, 6, but won't get the 3 at first base. Hannah Hunt will beat it out. So we'll have a fielder's choice. Very good to try at twisting it. We're just going to trade Barrett for Hunt at first base with an out to give as well. Peyton Steffes step up with a runner on first base. She got not too much of a hole to hit through as she pulls it. More up the middle is open for her, although she is somewhat of a pull hitter. And an RBI ground ball to the second baseman. Last at bat. Sacrifice. First pitch strike. Low and outside, painting that away corner. Bogus is living away from batters so far. She knows that the Falcons want to get below the ball and lift it, or that's what they've been doing, and her remedy is to keep it away. It's been successful in the second inning so far. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and a strike 2 to Peyton Steffes. I mean, he doesn't have the pedigree to argue, although it looked a little bit high, but it falls in, says the umpire, and 0-2 is the count with one out. Runner on first base. McKee on deck, Davis in the hole. 0-2 pitch is low and away. Waste pitch for Bogus, who's got to get back into this count. Barrett caught on a fielder's choice, trying for second after her single. Hunt reached on a fielder's choice, reached in the first inning on a single and a run scored. Steffes with an RBI. This is her second at bat of the game. 1-2 count from Bogus. Swing and a miss. A good off-speed to Peyton Steffes. She strikes out. Two outs now. Runner on first base.
Next up, here's the catcher number 88, Ava McKee.
McKee with a 2-run hit in the first inning, or second 2-run hit in the first inning of the day. First pitch up and away, odd stat line for her, but in the first game, 2 RBI double to score Martin and Barrett. 1-0 pitch now as the first pitch is up and away. Bogus with a runner on first base, just inside. McKee doesn't back up very much. Very close to clipping her as well. McKee, Davis, Massaro after the strikeout swinging by Peyton Steffes. A very good off-speed for Bogus, who has used that very minimally. Now she uses it again, gets a strike on the outside, so she's starting to use it a little bit more, knowing how effective it's been against the Falcons. Hannah Hunt on first base. 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. 5-2 Bowling Green lead. No score in the top for Youngstown State. You're looking to get on the board in the bottom. McKee lifts it over into left field, and it'll fall down in front of Macy Littler. McKee's got 2 hits. Maybe the key for Gardner was to start her catching. Hadn't caught since the Spartan Classic in the first series of the season. Now was DHing the last week, but didn't have too much success, batting 0-5-1 after the first Kent State game. Now, before today, was at 154. Imagine she would be above 200 after today, considering she's already 2 for 2. Davis looks to lay a bunt down, but can't get it down. And 0 for 1 is the count as she crosses the plate, or makes an attempt at the ball. Hunt at second, McKee at first. 2 outs. Davis is 1 for 1. Massaro, the only player left without a hit. Bunts it over, and a beautiful one for Delaney Davis, who's safe at first base. Bunt single again for Bowling Green. She's at first, McKee's at second, Hunt's at third, and Hannah Massaro will come up. Has not had a hit today, the only Falcon to not, who has played in the starting lineup. Matthews has below her as well in the first game, although she walked in this game. Massaro's the only player to not contribute to the base paths. Flashes bunt, pulls it back, flashes bunt again, then pulls it back for low and away, ball 1. 2 outs. There's 2 outs from runner on first 2 batters ago. McKee with a single got on, and then another single by Delaney Davis advanced the runners. The 1-0 pitch up and in. Massaro struck out swinging last at bat. Still a good at bat, but struck out swinging, one of the leaders on the team in strikeouts. Massaro actually the leader with 23. Addie Martin another with 21. Kendall Matthews has 20. Peyton Steffes is just a little bit behind her. 2-0 pitch away. The swingers count. You'd probably want to see her pull the trigger and take that one away, but she checks her swing. 2-1 with 2 outs, 5-2, and bases loaded. 6 hits for Bowling Green, already 3 in this inning, 3 in the first inning. Ground ball over to the shortstop. Imler makes the play, throws over to first, but off the bag is the first baseman, Ray. That was Bella Meyer, that actually made that play at shortstop. It'll score a run. I think it's going to be an error. It's going to be a throw that pulled the first baseman off. So it's going to be E6. The throw was high. So I agree with that decision.
Next up for the
Hunt will
Falcons
score
is center fielder number
6-2.
19, Kendall
Bowling Green
Matthews.
leads. Kendall Matthews is up with the bases loaded and 2 outs still. So 2-out run scored by Bowling Green on an error, so it won't be a earned run for Bogus. Matthews, number 19. Single advanced to second base, but was stranded on second base after Martin's deep fly out to the left fielder. In the first inning, takes the pitch on the outside, Black, 1-1. Very good pitch for Matthews. Matthews looking for something to drive, has lofted the ball a decent amount today, but with the way the wind is played, now blowing in from right field, it looks like. Switching between that and center field. Takes a drop ball low. No chance at hitting that unless she pulled out a golf club. And 2-1 is the count with 2 outs. 6-2. McKee on third. Davis on second. Massaro on first. High fly ball to center field. That's a true major leaguer. Bree Kohler is under it, and she will catch it for the third out of the inning. Bowling Green gets 1 on a 2-out error by the shortstop, Bella Meyer, but will come out of the inning with the top of the order coming up in the bottom of the third. In the top of the third, we will have Ayla Ray, Lydia Wilkerson, and Alyssa Imler from Youngstown State. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hey there, Wood County families. Make sure to join us here on WBGU Sundays from 2 to 4 p.m. for Family Radio.
Stop it.
You'll hear family-oriented content including fun children's music, comedy bits, and educational segments for all ages.
On the surface, that sounds perfectly pleasant.
That's Family Radio, broadcasting live from the campus of Bowling Green State University, and only on
WBGU Family Radio.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Two innings pitched so far for Morgan Beckham, who takes the circle again in the top of the third inning. 2 runs, none earned on 3 hits. 1 walk, 1 strikeout for her after going 3 innings perfect to close out the first game against Youngstown State. Ben Korak here from the Falcon Media Sports Network. BGSU Sports News and Updates. Go to bgfalconmedia.com or BG_FMSN on Twitter, and the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel for highlights and rebroadcasts. 6-2, Bowling Green leads. First pitch ball from Morgan Beckham. Outpitching Macy Bogus so far. 2 innings pitched, 3 earned runs on 6 total earned for Bogus. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 8 hits to only Beckham's 3. So impressive so far from Beckham over Bogus. Beckham with a 2-0 count as she throws this last one way over the head of McKee. Ayla Ray at the plate. Flew out to the right fielder in the first inning with 2 runners on. This one catches the outside corner away from Ray. Ray's foot was pulled off the bag by the throw from the shortstop, Meyer, in the bottom of the third inning. That scored a run. Now she laces one into center field to be played by Matthews. Rounds first kind of lightly. She'll take a single out of that, and a ball that was just ripped through the shortstop second base gap. Wilkerson, Imler, and Dean due up with a runner on first base.
Now batting is the designated player.
Wilkerson flew out as well in the first inning. 3 flyouts out of 6 total outs in this game for the Penguins. Beckham leaves this one outside. Not starting out too hot. Had started the first 2 innings very well, pounding the zone, getting a couple of quick outs. This one right over the middle. She evens it back up 1-1. Staying ahead in counts has been recipe to pitching success for Bowling Green. Not too much we've seen from Scarlett Anderson. It's been the Mackenzie Kraftsick and Morgan Beckham show over the last 5-6 games. Now a line drive over to Hannah Hunt. Diving play, but she can't make it. Trying for the runner at second. The diving play by Ray to be safe. It's going to be a single for Wilkerson, who advances the runner to second just barely. Brings up Alyssa Imler, the second baseman, to try and knock a run in with no outs. Had 2 runners on early in the first inning, and Beckham was able to work out of it after 2 runs were scored unearned. Now she'll have 2 runs earned if she lets them score off of 2 straight singles. Imler, Dean, and Diaz due up. Imler grounds it down the third baseline, foul. 6-2, Bowling Green leads in the top of the third inning. Has some runs to play with, but you don't want to this early. 3 runs scored by the Penguins in the 5th inning of the last game to tighten it up 7-4, and ended up finishing with that final score. BG's run scoring after the second inning tends to drop off a little bit, so you want to keep them off the board. High fly ball to left field, playable for Delaney Davis over towards the fence, but it'll drop on the warning track down the left field line. Probably didn't want to go face first into the chainmail. It'll be a long foul ball, 0-2 the count. Wind probably messing with that a little bit, taking it away from the foul line as well. Imler with an 0-2 count. Beckham looking to get the first out of the inning. The 0-2 fouled back to the screen. She was on it, but late. Single in the first inning for Imler. Scored 2 runs. 0-2 delivery from Morgan Beckham. Off speed up just above the waist of Imler. So far, 5 hits for Youngstown State, who trails by 4 runs. 6 hits for Bowling Green. That extra error for Youngstown State was a rough one, as it allowed 5-run first inning for the Falcons and a 1-run third. Or 1-run second, I should say. Looks like the umpires are going to talk about something right now. Brian Campbell looks to be in the middle of it, asking head coach for Youngstown State, Brian Campbell, in his 17th season, a Tiffin Hall of Famer as their head softball coach, as well as a part of their first ever NCAA or National Championship tournament appearance with Tiffin football as an offensive lineman. 1-2 from Beckham, fouled out behind the press box. They've apparently sorted it out. Falcons shifting a little bit to the opposite field now, as Imler's been late on the last couple. Davis still playing her position, but Matthews a shade right of the second base bag. A little bender outside. 2-2. Maybe changing the eye level now of Imler. A lot of long counts and a lot of tough at-bats in this game. A ton of work that's being done by these pitchers. Beckham still searching for the first out. Ground ball back up the middle, just below her glove. Rounding third and heading home is Ayla Ray, but she will actually stop. She rounded pretty hard. Not the fastest, probably the wise decision by Brian Campbell. It's going to be another single and bases loaded. Not yet had a mound visit today. And we've got bases loaded as a little bit of a weak ground ball, but still a hit. Not too many high-quality hits for Youngstown State. This one ripped high in the air, foul. Kennedy Dean up to the plate, struck out swinging in the last at-bat. Pretty short at-bat as well, ended the first inning. 6-2, Bowling Green leads. Bases loaded, no outs, foul ball again. 0-2 count to Beckham, who's struggled a little bit today with 0-2 counts. Done her best work when she's even with the count and getting runners or batters to swing at good pitches and initiating tough contact, but it's very tough to do and an 0-2 count when they're just looking to battle. Requests a new ball, and she's got it. Dean steps back up, the catcher. Struck out in the first inning, but earlier in the game, 2 for 4. Pop fly, playable for Hunt, who's got a range into foul territory to get it, but it's going to fall. That wind really took that ball. It looked like it was going to fall fair if wind doesn't influence it. It's going to be 0-2 again. Only 3 or 4 outs taken away from the pitchers in the field today, just on wind, pulling them away from the fielders. Right now, blowing straight in from center field, but it's been anywhere from blowing from left field, right field. Morgan Beckham, foul ball off of the high screen. Really battling in this at-bat is Kennedy Dean. The last couple they have as well. Got some work in the bullpen for Bowling Green. Looks like work that's going to be relief, not just trying to stay warm. Looks like Scarlett Anderson in the bullpen, who's been great in relief appearances this season. Beckham puts it high. 1-2 the count now. Long at bat already, and that was just the first ball. Cami Diaz waiting on deck, Ashlyn Bishop, and the whole Bella Meyer after that in the bottom of the lineup. Pretty reasonable we get to the bottom of the lineup, considering 3 runners on and no outs. Another pitch high. 2-2. Surprised she went back to the high fastball after another high fastball. Didn't change the speed or the eye level of the batter. She'll try and do that now against Dean. Catcher probably knows these ideas. Another one, up and away. She's just missing her spots. Trying to get Dean to chase. 3 balls in a row after a lot of foul balls in a row. Now a full count with no outs and nowhere to put the runner. So she's got to come up with something good and put it in the zone. Full count, no outs. Here's the delivery from Beckham. Line down the third base line, foul. Continuing this very long at bat. Anderson now heavily working out in the bullpen. So here with some urgency. Full count, popped up in the air. Playable on the infield, won't fall foul. Martin all the way in, makes the catch. Puts away the first out on a very long at-bat. A good one to win by Beckham. She'll work Diaz and Bishop now for her next 2 outs. Still runners at every base. Single each for Ayla Ray, Lydia Wilkerson on second base, and Alyssa Imler on first. Cami Diaz takes strike 1. Early lead for Beckham, who had an early lead in the last at-bat as well, 0-2. Then lost 3 pitches in a row to make it 3-2, and then finally got that pop out. The 0-1 up and away. McKee is able to snare it and hold the runner at third base. Ayla Ray is a beneficial runner to have at third base. Not the fastest, and especially since the infield is in quite a bit. Massaro a couple steps in front of first base. Barrett taking a few in. And the middle infield at the base path. This one's driven out in the air to center left field. Matthew will be the first one to grab it. 1 run will score. 2 runs are coming in for the Penguins. Martin the throw home. McKee with the tag. Got the runner from first base. A 2-run double still for Cami Diaz. 1 runner was saved by the Falcons on a beautiful throw by Addie Martin. It's going to make it a 6-4 game and tighten it up a little bit. Imler trying to score from first base gets hosed. Going to be a 2 RBI double for Cami Diaz, who's been an RBI machine this week. Against Niagara yesterday, against Bowling Green today. Now 2 outs for Beckham with a runner on second base. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Ashlyn Bishop taking a couple steps into the swing. Finally had a single to break up her 0-for-5 streak in the second inning. And then was out at a fielder's choice attempting for second base. The 0-1, ground ball to Hannah Hunt at second base. Flipped over to first to Massaro. That'll retire the inning, not before 2 runs are scored by Youngstown State. They trail by 2 heading into the bottom of the third inning with Bowling Green leading 6-4. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hey there, Wood County families! Make sure to join us here on WBGU Sundays from 2 to 4 p.m. for Family Radio. You'll hear family-oriented content, including fun children's music, comedy bits, and educational segments for all ages.
Let the games begin!
That's Family Radio, broadcasting live from the campus of Bowling Green State University and 88.1 FM WBGU HD1, Bowling Green, Ohio.
Oh, is there anything they won't do?
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
You are listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Back out in the circle is Bogus. She got a long rest in that top of the third inning. Only 2 runs scored by Youngstown State, but quite a large amount of very good at-bats. Probably those last 4 at-bats were very good ones. 2 runs scored on 4 hits. 1 runner left on base. Good relay by Addie Martin to save another run. It's a 2-run game now. 6-4 Bowling Green leads. Bogus delivers low and away to Katie Hutter, who starts at the top of the third, or the bottom of the third inning. Last inning, 1 run scored for the Falcons on 3 hits. 3 runners left on base. Strikeout as well for the Falcons. Bogus, ground ball by Hutter to the first baseman, and Ayla Ray will take care of it easy. Addie Martin comes up to the plate now. Fly out to the left fielder, and a single and a run score in the first inning. That's in the third now. Not too much done today. 1 for 3 with a run, a walk as well. Yo pitch, flashes bunt, pulls it away and low and inside just across her shoelaces. 2 runs in the first, 2 runs in the third for Youngstown State. 5 runs in the first, 1 run in the second for Bowling Green. Just inside, caught a piece of Addie Martin. Crowding the plate a little bit. She's been hit quite a lot this season. That's her 7th hit by pitch. Didn't hurt too much, so if they're all like that, you'll take them. Also a stolen base threat. Most stolen bases on the team with 10. She's 10 for 10. Bowling Green is 34 for 40. Taylor Barron, a good contact hitter. Wouldn't be surprised if you see Addie Martin go here on an 0-0 count. She does go. The throw to Dean. Safe. Oh, she's called out. Didn't slide. Don't know what she was doing. Oh, she left early. That's what they're saying. I wonder what's going on here. They're going to let it go. So she left early. Taylor Barron has nobody on base now, and it's 2 outs for her. She's got reached base twice, a single in the second inning, reached on error in the first. Off speed, low and away for ball 2. It's 2-0. Unfortunate there. Gave a extra out to Youngstown State with a runner on and 1 out. Now you have no runners on, 2 outs. Barrett, Hunt, and Steffes due up if you get that far. Perfect pitch. Low and away corner. 2-1. First pitch strike on a swinger's count for Barrett. Barrett 3 for 4 in the first game. He's already got a hit in this game. 1 for 1 and a run. continuing to raise that batting average up high, about chest high. 3-1, so back up to a hitter's count now with 2 outs. Still a dangerous top of the order, or middle of the order, I should say. Barrett, Hunt, Steffes, McKee has been swinging very well. Delaney Davis already has 2 hits. Ground ball to the shortstop, and it won't be fielded cleanly by Bella Meyer. It'll be a reach on error on the shortstop. It's her second error of the game. Didn't start in the last game. It was Imler that was playing shortstop. Imler's playing second base now. Hannah Hunt will come up with a runner on first and 2 outs. Scored 2 runs with a single. Hannah Hunt. 1 for 2. First pitch from Bogus is fouled off of the knee of the catcher, Kennedy Dean. The umpire will give her a second to walk it off. Barron at first base on the reach on error. Second time that she's reached on error today. Scored a run on it in the first. She did that with no outs. Now she did it with 2 outs on Addie Martin getting thrown out for leaving early, and Katie Hutter grounding out to the first baseman. Hannah Hunt was folded by an off-speed outside, but just away. 1-1. She was completely fooled. Peyton Steffes, the last batter at the top of the order that is yet to get a hit. She's on deck. Strike on the inside for Hannah Hunt, and a 1-2 count she'll have to work back from with 2 outs. Runner on first base in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Hunt's 1-2. Bogus delivers outside. Pickoff attempt back to first base. Taylor Barrett thought she was getting a little bit too far off. Hannah Hunt had a 5-game hitting streak coming into today. Has kept it going already. It's up to 7 through the last game against Youngstown State in this game. And now here's another one. Line drive into left field. Base hit. Macy Littler will field it and toss it in. Hannah Hunt on with runner on first and second. Peyton Steffes looking for her first hit of the game and her second hit of the day. Stepping up to the plate. With 2 outs, so a little bit of a taller order to get some runs in. But Hannah Hunt keeps that hot streak going. Last 5 games played for her. Before this, 6 for 16, 3 RBIs, 2 runs, 2 doubles, and 3 walks. So already got 2 hits. Ground ball to the hole. Imler messes up with the play. Bobbles it a little bit. Another error for these Penguins in the field. Sounds derogatory, actually, when I say that, but it's not. McKee up to the plate. She's been good with runners in scoring position. A 2 RBI hit already. And a 2 RBI hit the first inning of last game as well. Bogus getting a talk in with Kennedy Dean. But she's really taken a step forward. McKee has since that game-tying double. Only 5 at-bats until Cam Kaufman was injured. 21 coming into today's game. Since then, that's not counting the 5 RBIs or the 5 at-bats that she's had. So 26 RBIs since Kaufman's been injured. She's benefited greatly from Cam Kaufman's injury, although the infield probably has not. Will be solve a couple of problems, especially in the batting order when Cam Kaufman comes back. A leader in doubles in the MAC before she got hurt. Still the leader on the team with 6, although Katie Hutter is getting 1. She's 1 away from tying her. I'm sorry, 7 on the team. Hannah Hunt has 6. Katie Hutter has 5. 1-0. Inside again for ball 2. Just barely missing is Bogus. McKee with the 2-0 count. See if she can keep the hot streak going. She has been fantastic with runners in scoring position. 6-4 Bowling Green. Pitch, just outside, 3-0. And with bases loaded and 2 outs, what do you do? Do you give her the green light? Do you give her the take sign? Up to Coach Gardner. 4-game hit streak now for Ava McKee. 4-game RBI streak as well. First strike is dealt on the outside edge. So 3-1 and still a hitter's count for Ava McKee. Had that first 2 RBI hit in the first game. Didn't get a hit the rest of the game. Has that in the second game and looking to get the follow-up hit. Bogus deals ground ball down the first base line, and Ray will pick it up. Touch first base. Anticlimactic inning as they load the bases with 2 outs and then get put out with no runs scored in the bottom of the 3rd inning. We head to the top of the 4th with Youngstown State coming up with Bella Meyer, Macy Littler, and Bree Kohler. The top of the bottom 1 and then top of the order. BGSU softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Black Swamp Players of Bowling Green is dedicated to the advancement of amateur theatrics, including production of live theater as well as various educational opportunities involving the arts. Founded in 1965, the organization provides high-quality amateur live theater as well as opportunities to the cast, crews, and the viewing public. Visit blackswampplayers.org for more information.
Bella Meyer up at bat for Youngstown State. The Penguins bat in the top of the 4th inning, trailing by 2 to Bowling Green, 6-4. The Falcons lead. They've left 9 runners available, and in the last 3 innings have left the bases loaded with that final out recorded. In all 3 of those innings, 9 total runs left, although impractical that they should have got all. That's a lot of run support for Morgan Beckham, who's pitched a gem so far. Only 2 earned runs out of the 4 given up in her 3 full innings of work. Her first pitch is outside, away from the right-handed hitting Bella Meyer. Meyer yet to record a hit today. Takes the pitch up, reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning, and pinch hitting for Ashlyn Bishop in the first game went 0 for 1. (2-0) the count for Meyer. Takes another pitch high. 3-0 as Beckham falls behind. Barrett and Martin, the left side of the infield. Hunt and Massaro, the right side. Matthews in center. Davis in left. And Steffes in right. McKee behind the plate for Bowling Green, and she catches a first pitch, or first strike of the at-bat for Beckham. Beckham working on the circle a little bit. Adjust her landing spot. 3-1 and a swinging count for Bella Meyer, the shortstop and the freshman. Swinging leaves the ball high and will take her base. Her last game started before this was versus Furman and Gardner-Webb on March 8th. She went 2 for 7 with 2 runs, no extra base hits this season for her. She'll take first base on a walk. And will come up Macy Littler. Littler, the all-freshman team in 2024. Last 7 games, 8 for 23. First pitch away for a ball, and Coach Gardner's not happy and determinedly walking out to the mound to talk to Morgan Beckham. Scarlett Anderson looks to still be working out in the Falcon pen. Gardner still talking to Morgan Beckham right now and trying to settle her down. That's 5 straight balls for Beckham. At the plate now, Littler. Again, Littler double against Detroit Mercy was her first extra base hit in 16 games. Last one before that was February 28th against St. Bonaventure. Not having an extra base hit today. Only got 1 hit, though. 1 hit on 4 at-bats. A couple of putouts in the field. 2 runs and 3 RBIs in her last 7 games. Littler batting righty. First pitch strike, so Gardner's mound visit. Settled down Beckham a little bit. Makes it a 1-1 count with a runner on first base. That's Bella Meyer. 1-1, up and in for ball 2. Count back to even since the mound visit from Gardner. First pitch head coach, or first year head coach for Bowling Green. Done a heck of a job. 11 wins so far. That pitch just caught the edge. For strike 2, 2-2 to Littler, who looked like she was peeling off after thinking there was a ball. Top of the 4th inning, trailing by 2, Youngstown State. They need a couple of runs in, try and scrape out another win on the road. Got to yesterday at home against Niagara. Now on the road today. Foul ball down the third base line, so 2-2 with no outs. Barrett way in at third base. Bounced over to Addie Martin. Takes a step back and throws the first base. Just barely got her in a good stretch by Hannah Massaro to punch out Macy Littler. Good play by Addie Martin as well, recognizing she has to take a step back to play it on the even hop. She did with a good honor heels throw, still with a good amount of heat on it. Scarlett Anderson is in the bullpen for Bowling Green. Morgan Beckham looking to get out of the inning unscathed. First pitch caught the outside corner. That was a confident first pitch for Beckham. Pitch into Bree Kohler now. Kohler with a single and a ground out to the pitcher already. Has a run scored. He's played center field as well. Flied in the air, high in the left field. Delaney Davis taking some steps in. Takes it easily. Addie Martin will get the relay. And that's 2 confident and quick outs for Morgan Beckham after the mound visit from Michelle Gardner. Going to go down as an F7. Ayla Ray, the last time she was up, she pieced a single over the middle. Addie Martin shifting over toward third base a little bit, leaving that open hole in center. Youngstown has done a very good job of staying up the middle against the Falcons. First pitch strike, caught the outside edge. Ayla Ray, the first baseman, and the freshman, with that single, also scored a run on it. Batting probably above 300 as it comes to today. Batting 300 coming into today. The 0-1 pitch, grounded down the first base line, but foul, as Massaro touches it outside of the white line. 5-2, Bowling Green led after the first. 6-2, BG led after the second. 6-4, they lead right now in the top of the 4th inning. 2 outs, runner on second base. It's Bella Meyer. Ray grounds it over to second base. Good stop by Hannah Hunt. Flips it to first to Massaro. Ends the inning and ends any chance of scoring for Youngstown State. Top of the 4th inning. No runs for the Penguins. Head to the Falcons in the bottom. BGSU softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
The premier community theater of Bowling Green is the Black Swamp Players. For over 50 years, Black Swamp Players has been dedicated to the advancement of amateur theatrics, including production of live theater as well as various educational opportunities involving the arts. BSP is a nonprofit organization whose volunteer membership is open to any person regardless of age, religion, sexual orientation, or race. Visit blackswamplayers.org.
Falcon Baseball wraps up their homestand against Youngstown State on Tuesday, March 25th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz and Sam Morris will have the call starting at 2:45 for pregame and 3 p.m. for first pitch on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Delaney Davis will lead off, followed by Hannah Massaro and Kendall Matthews. Bottom of the order from BG, been fairly productive today. Hannah Massaro still looking for her first hit. Delaney Davis has 2 in this game, none in last game, breaking her hit streak. Her on-base streak continues, however, and Kendall Matthews has 3 hits on the day. An impressive display from Kendall Matthews. Just looking through the order, Massaro, the only one that is continuing to struggle. Hutter struggled a little bit, but has had a little bit of a bounce-back game. Martin, Barrett, Hunt, and Steffes have been pretty consistent. Here's a foul ball off of Delaney Davis and into play. McKee has taken a huge step forward, especially with runners on base. She's been fantastic with the bat in her hand the last couple of games. 2 RBIs on a 2-for-3 day today. Delaney Davis has stepped into the lineup, done a very good job. Matthews has been improved. Hannah Massaro is the only one that is yet to show huge offensive prowess. First ball of the at-bat, 1-1. 6-4, Bowling Green lead, trying to add some runs to the outing of Morgan Peckham, looking to get her a win. It's low and away, 2-1 the count. Peckham 1-6 on the season, added a save in the first game in her 3 perfect innings pitched. Looks for her second win of the season. Sub-8 ERA coming into today. Probably going to go down as well. Bunt laid down, foul. Delaney Davis sprints toward first base. Her last 2 hits, both bunts, both beauties. Her and Addie Martin have shown their bunting skills today. Both of them have reached on bunt singles. Another time that we talk about with Hannah Massaro on deck, that Cam Kaufman in the lineup changes things a lot around, considering she was anchoring 4th or 5th in the batting order. This one is taken inside, just barely. Bogus not happy in the circle. Full count now to Delaney Davis. But she was anchoring the 4th or 5th spot. And even if that bumps it all the way down, it takes Hannah Massaro's 184 out of the lineup. And a very impressive batting order it would be for Bowling Green with Cam Kaufman back in it. Ground ball over to second base, fielded by Imler, over to first to Ray, and Ray gets the putout. Delaney Davis is retired for the first time in the game, bringing up Hannah Massaro with no runners on. Reached on error in the second inning, struck out in the first inning. Kendall Matthews waits on deck. Katie Hutter in the hole in case they need her in this inning. Hopefully they do. Massaro again showing bunt, pulls back, leaves it inside. Massaro, state champ and a state runner-up. Runner-up her freshman season. Ohio state champ in her sophomore season. All-Ohio first team in 2023 in her senior season. Nominee for best defensive shortstop and outfielder. Just barely away. Zone's getting tighter, it seems, for the umpire. And Brian Campbell is going to want to talk with his pitcher. 2-0 the count to Massaro. Matthews waiting on deck. What they're talking about here for Baucus. Can't just simply be saying, hit the zone. I'm sure she knows that. But it's a 2-0 count at risk of losing who has hit the worst in the order today. Hannah Massaro 0 for 5 now across the entire game today. The struggle's becoming, who do you put in the field in her place? Everybody in the starting lineup today is either a starter. Ashley Chevalier, who is normally a starting catcher, not playing today, but McKee's playing so well, she might have a tough time getting back in. And Cameron Kaufman's hurt. There's 5 other at-bats other than those people I just mentioned. Not too much that you know outside of Massaro. 2-0 the count. Taken inside, 3-0, and a good look by Hannah Massaro, trying to get on base for the second time today, technically, the first time safely. Matthews waits on deck, the righty. Bogus deals first pitch strikeouts, or the first strike outside. Paints to the black. And a full take by Massaro. Sure she did not have the green light on that pitch. She'll probably have it here on a 3-1. Certainly a hitter's count. Bogus winds and deals over the plate again. Low and away, though. Probably more low than away as Massaro takes a walk. First time reaching base without the help of an error. Brings up Kendall Matthews with one out in the bottom of the fourth inning. 6-4. A lot of long at-bats have ground the momentum of the game to a halt. Bogus taking her time in the circle. Good block by Dean behind the plate to stop the low drop ball. Matthews let it go as well, so she'll step into the box with a 1-0 count. Massaro decently fast over at first base. Scarlett Anderson still ready in the pen. Ground ball down the third baseline foul. Massaro took off like a rocket as soon as that happened. 1-1. Wouldn't be the worst choice to send Massaro here and get the runner advanced. And even if she gets out, then you bring up the top of the order, the top of the sixth inning, assuming Matthews also gets out. A runner in scoring position certainly would help with this aspect of the game that is only 2-run favoring Bowling Green, and you might be going with a new pitcher. Fly ball out to center field. Ranging in is Bree Kohler. Kohler, basket catch, and it falls out of her glove. Massaro will have to get to second base as Matthews was already standing on first. It's got to be a hit on a diving play, but was in her pocket for a beat before it bounced out when she hit the ground. So a walk and a hit, back-to-back, bringing up the top of the order for Katie Hutter.
Back to the top of the lineup for Bowling
Hutter
Green.
in the bottom of the fourth inning. Already has a RBI walk, a single and a run scored. Makes bunt, lets it go, but it's on the outside edge for strike one. 6-4. Bowling Green leads. Runner in scoring position now with Massaro and one out. Katie Hutter batting left-handed. A little bit of a hole to shoot through on the left-handed favored side of second base between the second baseman and the second base bag. Ayla Ray, not the greatest fielder over at first base either. Matthews at first. Massaro at second. Winding the deal from Bogus. Lined into left field. Massaro rounds and goes home. The throw to third to hold the runner at second. Massaro will score after her walk. Matthews will advance up to second, and it's going to be an RBI single for Katie Hutter, her second RBI of the game. Bogus will still try and work her way out of this, although she's given up a run on 2 hits so far. Also, with a walk, does only have 1 out. Addie Martin's up with 2 runners on, first and second. Now a 7-4 Bowling Green lead, getting Morgan Beckham or Scarlett Anderson some breathing room. First pitch strike on the inside. They're not afraid to pitch to Addie Martin, and she hasn't had the greatest game. A single and a run, and a hit by pitch. Caught leaving early on a stolen base. Bogus winds and delivers an 0-1 pitch. Ground ball through the gap between short and second base. Matthews will round and head home. The throw to the plate will not be in time. Hutter will be held up at second. That'll be an RBI single for Addie Martin. And bring up Taylor Barrett with a runner on first and second. Matthews with good awareness to leave early. No, she was scoring on that ground ball to left field, even though it was a shallow throw for Macy Littler out there in left field. Not the greatest arm for her. So we have Taylor Barrett up. Addie Martin on first. Katie Hutter at second on the RBI. An RBI single for Addie Martin. 2 for 3 today with a run and an RBI. Katie Hutter, 2 for 3 today with 2 RBIs and a run. Hannah Hunt, who's on deck, 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Barrett slaps this one into right field. Just foul. Might have grazed the white line, but the home plate umpire says no. very close. Would have been at least a run scored, maybe two, depending on how good of a jump Addie Martin got. She was rounding pretty hard as she got over there toward third base. 0-2 the count now to Taylor Barrett, who's swinging on that second pitch of the at-bat on an 0-1. Boggess delivers outside. Hunter fakes leaving at second base. Boggess not too worried about the runners right now, although it's only one out. So even if Barrett strikes out, flies out, still got more runs to deal with. Barrett with a 1-2. Swing and a miss. Beautiful off-speed by Boggess that got Taylor Barrett swinging. 14th strikeout of the season for Barrett. Very rare occurrence for her. Hannah Hunt will come up to the plate. 2 for 3, a chance to be the first Falcon with 3 hits. She does it, she'll probably get a run in. 2 outs. Now with runner on first and second. Tried to take it the other way, but fouled it out of play. A little bit late on the pitch. 0-1 for Boggess. Looked like there's too much work going on in the Youngstown State bullpen. Probably going to ride with Boggess through the rest of this game. Save Autumn Belke for later this week. Autumn Boyd as well. Bowling Green blessed with the plethora of arms to use if needed, although the top 3 have kind of separated themselves. Beckham especially with today, if she hadn't before. Mackenzie Kraftsick got a win today, and she's been great. And Scarlett Anderson, because of how great Kraftsick and Beckham have been, really hasn't had too much opportunity. 1-1 the count, 2 out. Hannah Hunt fouls it off herself in the right-handed batter's box. It'll be 1-2 count now. 2 runs already scored this inning. 8-4 BG leads in the bottom of the 4th. 5 runs scored in the first, 1 in the second, and these 2 in the 4th. Boggess toes up the rubber and throws it inside. Pickoff attempt over to first base to Addie Martin. She's there safely. It's the second time today that Kennedy Dean has tried. Neither time was successful. 5 errors now for Youngstown State. Only 9 hits allowed to Bowling Green. Hunt singles it through the first second base gap. Hutter will score. Martin's being held up at third base. It's going to be an RBI single for Hannah Hunt. It's her 3rd hit of the game. And the bottom of the 4th inning, it's going to bring up Peyton Steffes with a runner on first and third. Second run of the game scored by Katie Hutter. Martin's 1 base away from scoring her second run of the game. Hannah Hunt is 3 away from scoring her first run of the game. And Peyton Steffes in the box now for Bowling Green, batting lefty. Boggess trying to get herself out of a 2-out jam. Throws a first pitch off-speed outside strike. Littler, Kohler, and Bishop in the outfield playing pretty even. Second baseman Imler is shifted over toward first base quite a margin. Leaves a huge gap in center. Well, Steffes is a pull hitter. That's why they're playing the second baseman over. Ayla Ray also playing pretty near the bag at first base. Steffes a strikeout and a ground out to the second baseman. Also got on base on an error by the second baseman. 1-1. Lifted in the air to center field, playable for Kohler, and she's got it on a line drive, puts away the inning. Bowling Green gets 3 and turns it over to the top of the 5th when Youngstown State will grab the bats. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Black Swamp Players of Bowling Green is dedicated to the advancement of amateur theatrics, including production of live theater as well as various educational opportunities involving the arts. Founded in 1965, the organization provides high-quality amateur live theater as well as opportunities to the cast, crews, and the viewing public. BSP is a nonprofit organization whose volunteer membership is open to any person, regardless of age, religion, sexual orientation, or race. Visit blackswampplayers.org for more information.
You are listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Wilkerson, Imler, and Dean will lead off the top of the fifth inning for Youngstown State. They trail by 5 now after 3 runs scored in the bottom for Bowling Green. But again, 2 runners left on base for the Falcons. It's 11 total today. In this game, adding the 7 in the last game, 18 total runs Bowling Green's left on the board. Don't expect to score all of them, but it'd be nice to score some and give Beckham a little bit of a lead. A little bit more of a lead than you have now. Scarlett Anderson was working out in the bullpen, but is not going to get to throw yet. She does seem to be out of... she is still in the bullpen working and staying warm. It is getting a little bit colder here in Bowling Green, dipping below 50 as we were before, and the sun is also down, and the wind has not receded. The 2-0 pitch just got the waist high. Top of the zone. 2-1. 2-1 now the count. Beckham for the 2-1 after the windup. Fouled out a play down the third baseline. Three runs scored in the fourth inning for the Falcons. It's pretty rare for them to be scoring that amount of runs so deep into games. They do a lot of their damage in the first couple of innings. Here's a fly ball out into right field. Ranging in is Steffes, who lays out for this and makes a catch for the first out of the inning. Very good play by Peyton Steffes. Coming in to today, Bowling Green was leading opponents in the first inning, 29-25. Trailing just barely in the second inning, 24-29. Then trailing by a ton in the third inning. Only 15-54 total runs scored in the third by Bowling Green opponents. Fouled out of play, then first pitch to Alyssa Imler with 1 out. And pretty even in the 5th, 6th, and Bowling Green leads in the 7th. Like getting through those middle parts of the innings, the 2, 3, and 4 is key for Bowling Green, and they did that pretty well today. Beckham through the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th with only 2 runs given up. And only 2 runs earned today on her 4 total given up. 1-1 the count with 1 out. Beckham serves to Imler, popped in the air. Or third base and shortstop. We'll see who makes the play. It looks like Barrett is going to be able to circle under it. Wind didn't catch that too bad. It's going to be the second out on a pop out to the third baseman, bringing up the catcher, Kennedy Dean. 0 for 2 for Dean today. One of only 3 players in the Youngstown State lineup to go 0 for. No players. I'm sorry, only 2 players that have played today for Youngstown State have gone 0 for. One of them is Bishop, who got a hit already. Bella Meyer also exited the first game without a hit. Now is hitless in the second game and are 0 for 1, but she's got a walk. Ripped foul by Kennedy Dean. Dean a strikeout in the first. Pop out to the shortstop at the pitcher's circle in the third. 9-4 Bowling Green leads in the top of the 5th inning. 10 hits for the Falcons, 7 for the Penguins. 5 errors, though, for the Penguins. Only 1 for Bowling Green. Too many opportunities given to the Falcons, although the opportunities not capitalized on too frequently. They do have 9 runs, but 11 today left on the table. This one slips out of the hand of Morgan Beckham and out to the wall behind the plate. So 1-1. 2 outs, no runners on. Beckham looking for a 1-2-3 inning. First of the game for her if she can get it. Leadoff walk in the 4th inning, and she went 1-2-3. Worked her way out of a couple of jams. Allowed 2 unearned runs in the first. 2 runs in the 3rd. No runs in the 2nd or the 4th. Fouled out of play by Dean, who's staying alive. Kennedy Dean, 2 for 4, an RBI and a run in the game earlier today against Bowling Green, against Niagara yesterday. She was 5 for 8 with 7 RBIs, 4 runs scored, only a couple of left on base, 3 doubles and a home run. Impressive day for her on the Tuesday game. Still been decent today, although the 0 for 2 hurts her averages a little bit. Full count from Beckham. And a 2-out swing to foul it off by Kennedy Dean, the catcher. She had a lot of work the last 2 games. Caught both of the games yesterday as well. That's 4 games on her knees that she's had in the last 2 days. Still a full count. Payoff pitch for Morgan Beckham. She toes up the rubber. Leans back, now leans forward. Winds and deals. And fly ball foul down the right field line. Such long at-bats that we've seen today between Youngstown State and Bowling Green. Quite the long at-bats. One of the slowest softball games of the season for Bowling Green. Pitch just high. So Beckham will lose her. See if Gardner lets her try and work her way out of it. She will. I think a smart decision from Michelle Gardner to leave Beckham. She got a 5-run buffer, only 1 runner on with 2 outs. Understand the decision if you put in Scarlett Anderson for the next 2 innings, but Beckham has earned her way into pitching this deep in the game. First pitch is outside, 1-0. The count to Beckham. It'll be Cami Diaz now, a double, 2-run double in the 3rd inning. Pitch gets past McKee. The runner will advance to 2nd. Kennedy Dean moves up a bag. 2-0 count to Beckham. I would imagine is facing her last batters, but you never know what Gardner is going to do. 2-0 count, runner on 2nd. Really can't afford to give this runner up. You've got 2 more innings of work after this. Swing and a miss. Good cut by Cami Diaz, but pulled her head off of it, and it's going to be the first strike of the at-bat for Beckham. McKee will walk it out. Gardner's going to take a stroll out to Morgan Beckham in the circle. No player is accompanying her yet. Looks like they're just talking over really fast. She be stretching something. Gardner with her, I believe, her 2nd mound visit now. Looks like Beckham's okay. So 2-1 back to an even count. We'll be pitching to Cami Diaz. Diaz didn't hit in the 4th of the 1st. Had a 2 RBI double in the 3rd. Flew out to the right fielder in the 2nd. That's her 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Beckham with the 2-1 count. Rise ball and got her to swing. 2-2 with 2 outs. 9-4. Bowling Green leads. Leads in hits 13-7. There's a line drive up the middle over the head. And Hunt is going to make the play at first base. What a great play as that ball stopped dead over the second base bag. and Hunt was able to throw her out with a very good throw from right behind the second base bag. A long throw as well. Ends the inning for Youngstown State. They get no runs on one walk. We head to the bottom of the fifth inning. BG looking to possibly end the game early, if not to put some more runs on the board. Give some support to Morgan Beckham, who has pitched a gem so far. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Christensen for BGSU men's soccer team, and this is my Falcon 4 favorite ice cream toppings. The first one, vanilla, because it's a classic. The second one, strawberry, and guess what? It's also a classic. Love that. And cookies and cream, because it's delicious. And the final one, banana.
The premier community theater of Bowling Green is the Black Swamp Players. For over 50 years, Black Swamp Players has been dedicated to the advancement of amateur theatrics, including production of live theater as well as various educational opportunities involving the arts. BSP is a nonprofit organization whose volunteer membership is open to any person regardless of age, religion, sexual orientation, or race. For more information or to volunteer, visit blackswampplayers.org.
McKee, Davis, and Massaro in the bottom of the fifth inning for Bowling Green. McKee already 2 for today, 2 for 3, a couple of RBIs as well. We're going to see a new pitcher for Youngstown State and Autumn Boyd. Boyd, 8.81 ERA this season in her 12 appearances. She's 0 for 3 in her 6 games started. No complete games for her, which is rare for these Youngstown State pitchers. The only pitcher with over 30 innings pitched to not. She is had all relief appearances, 31 of them, 336 batting average against. Her first pitch is low and in the dirt for ball 1. Autumn Boyd has not had an appearance this season with at least 1 inning pitch where she hasn't given up a run. She's probably going to be expected to go 3 or at least 2 innings pitched in this game. 1-1. The count to Ava McKee. Boyd, 3-time Pennsylvania All-State. Delivers a hard fastball up and away. McKee with the 2-1. Takes a off-speed over the middle for strike 2, so favorable count for Boyd. Pitches to McKee, Davis, Massaro, and Matthews, the bottom of the order for Bowling Green in the bottom of the fifth inning. Winds and deals away. Nice hard fastball, but not the best location as we saw there. Way away on that. Full count for Ava McKee with no runners on. Ground ball to the shortstop. Meyer fields it, throws over to first base, off the bag. Tag is wide, and McKee is safe on a throwing error by the shortstop. So, fortunate for Youngstown State, their 6th error of the game will bring up Delaney Davis. The last appearance for Autumn Boyd, 1 1/3 inning pitched, 5 earned runs on 4 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 2 home runs. Delaney Davis, beautiful bunt down the third base line. They're not going to get her at first base. That's her 3rd bunt single of the game. She advances McKee to second base. Brings up Hannah Massaro with runners on. We're going to see if... Doesn't look like Gardner's going to go for a pinch runner with McKee, and we're have a 9-4 Bowling Green lead. Massaro at the plate with 2 runners on and no outs. Massaro goes for a bunt and gets it up in the air to the screen. He's really having problems getting the bunt down. Gardner's telling her not to reach for it, and if it's not a good pitch, pull back. Makes me assume that she's going to do it again, but we'll see. 2 runners on. Advancing them would be big with Kendall Matthews coming up. Shows bunt, now pulls back over the head of the catcher, Dean. Be back to Autumn Boyd in the pitcher circle. The runners are going to advance anyway without need of a bunt. So second and third. McKee at third. Davis at second. 1-1 with no outs. Massaro lines it into left field, gets a base knock. Davis is going to be held up at third base. McKee's going to score, and it's going to be a single and an RBI for Hannah Massaro. For her to get back in the hit column and avoid 0 for the day. She is now 1 for 3 in this game and 0 for 3 in the last game, but 1 for 6 total with an RBI. And now that brings up Kendall Matthews with runners at the corners and no outs. Massaro's going to take second on catcher's indifference or stolen base. They're going to get a stolen base for Massaro. Matthews takes another pitch on the outside. Doesn't like those outside pitches. Has taken an outside strike in almost every at-bat today. Matthews with a 1-1 count. Boyd toes up and deals. Over the plate, line through the gap. Autumn Boyd has given up 2 hits in a row. 1 run will score. Matthews will try for second. Massaro will be held up at third base. We're going to have second and third again with Davis scoring. Bringing up the top of the order, Katie Hutter. Good strong rip from Kendall Matthews. It's her second of the game. She's going to get an RBI as well. She's already had a run scored, and she's in prime position for Katie Hutter, who's back up to bat in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 singles, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs as well with a walk is Katie Hutter. Boyd away. Looks like Boyd really only has a fastball. Hasn't thrown too much off speed, or if she has, hasn't been discernibly different from her hard straight one, low and away. Ball 1-1-1 with still no outs. Hutter trying to do a job here and get another run, and it's 11-4. Bowling Green lead on the last 2 runs on 3 hits in a row from Autumn Boyd. Pitch dealt low. She's throwing hard, harder than any pitcher we've seen probably in the last week for Bowling Green. Green Bay, Kent State, and Bowling Green included. 2 balls, 1 strike. Boyd deals to Hutter. Hutter swing and fouls it back off the glove and into the screen. Two and 2. The count to Hutter. Hutter, again, has had a very good game. 2 for 3, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Pops this one up into left field. Chasing it down is Macy Littler over into foul territory. She'll catch it. The tag to home. Massaro's throw. She's safe at home. 12-4 Bowling Green leads. And that's going to do it for this game as they lead by 8. The run rule in 5 innings of play. 3 runs in the last 2 innings for the Falcons. And they win 12-4 and sweep Youngstown State in their midweek non-conference doubleheader in their last home non-conference of the homestand. They have Ball State this coming weekend. Take a step back for a second, and we'll bring you back for the post-game show here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Wake up every weekday with WBGU and The Morning Show. The Morning Show is a community resource for weekly events, news, sports, weather, interviews with community officials and organizations, birthday and anniversary announcements, and more. The Morning Show broadcasts live Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. from the Killeen Center at Bowling Green State University. Listen live every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. locally on 88.1 FM or streaming online at bgfalconmedia.com.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Back here in Missouri Field, 12-4 the final for Bowling Green in the second game, 7-4 the final for Bowling Green. In the first game, a 2-game sweep of Youngstown State. They had 2 more wins to their overall record, 12-18 now overall. And conference records does not change, but 2-1 at home. Still 1-9 away and 5-8 at neutral site. Youngstown State falls down to 7-26 in their overall record. Still 1-5 in conference, 2-3 at home, but 2-10 away, and still 3-13 in neutral site. Youngstown State just not able to keep up with the offense of Bowling Green. Their pitching as well, just not able to hold the Falcons off of the board. In the second game, Bowling Green had 16 hits on 12 runs scored and 31 total at-bats. It was Hannah Hunt that led the game for Bowling Green. Her and Delaney Davis, 3 for 4, 2 runs and an RBI for Hannah Hunt. Delaney Davis had 3 hits. I believe all of them bunt singles. She was 3 for 4 with a run scored. Katie Hutter, good to see her getting back in the hit column. She was 4 for 6 today with 5 runs scored. She was fantastic. 3 RBIs added in the second game as well. Addie Martin, 2 for 3 in the second game with an RBI and a run. Taylor Barrett, 1 for 3 with a run. Ava McKee, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. She had a fantastic game because she added a 1 for 3 and 2 RBI performance in the first game with a couple of very clutch runs in the first inning. Hannah Massaro got a hit as well, 1 for 3, 2 runs scored and an RBI, a walk and a strikeout for Massaro. Kendall Matthews as well, 2 for 3, an RBI and a run, with Morgan Beckham getting the win for Bowling Green. 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 earned runs on 4 total given up, 1 strikeout, 3 walks. She gets credit for the full 5 innings run rule game played for Bowling Green. All 4 runs scored for Youngstown State came from their top 4 batters, 2 in the first inning, 2 in the third inning, the first 2 unearned, the second 2 earned. The hits, the only good game for Youngstown State with multiple hits was a 2 for 3 performance from Imler with 2 RBIs as well. Cami Diaz had 1 hit, 3 at-bats with 2 RBIs, though they were responsible for all 4 runs scored. And Littler, Kohler, Ray, and Wilkerson each scored a run for Youngstown State. Their pitchers, Bogus, 4 innings pitched, 6 earned runs on 9 total, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks for her, and 113 pitches. And Autumn Boyd came in and gave up 2 earned runs on 3 total runs and the walk-off sacrifice fly for Katie Hutter in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bowling Green wins 12-4 over Youngstown State. They have games coming up this weekend against Ball State, which is another MAC matchup and a very tough one at that for Bowling Green. That's a top 4 team in the MAC. All of those games occurring at home at Missouri Field. Bowling Green will have, or the Falcon Media Sports Network will have broadcasts Friday at 3 p.m. on Falcon Radio and Saturday at 1, and after 30 minutes after the first game ends, those 2 will be on WBGU 88.1 FM. Myself and Henry Costco on both calls, and tuning in 15 minutes prior to game time for our pregame and talking a little bit about Ball State and Bowling Green. The Falcons take 2 wins over Youngstown State, 7-4 and 12-4. We'll talk to you this weekend on Friday at 2:45. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.